Good evening, Retro Unlimers, and welcome to Retro Unlim Live 37 LTMS. My name is Samuel L. Jackson. Say what again? Say what again? I double dare you, mother yacker.
Oh my god, did you actually just say that? It's actually quite impressive. I'm actually quite impressed, that was good.
Well, thank you. Tonight's show is called Let the Man Speak, and the premise is this. We've got to let the gents present tonight speak. The challenge is that if there are 10 or less interruptions where the phrase "let the man speak" is uttered, then Mr. Retro Unlim himself is going to be taking the Ice Bucket Challenge, followed by a donation to the ALS charity, and it's going to go up on the website next week. And to add some extra spice to this, the Burhan, Mr. Michael Burhan, has agreed to add himself to the challenge also. The challenge is spread across both streams tonight. That's this one, running from 8:30 from 10 PM BST, and the second one from 10:30 to about 12:30. And the rules will also be explained in part 2. Remember, we want to be saying the phrase as few times as possible, and naturally, people are going to accidentally talk over each other from time to time, but these will not count. However, for debatable decisions, I'm going to nominate one person from each stream to be a referee to make the decision. And, well, I was going to make that decision right now, but there's only a couple of people here at the moment, so I might as well introduce who indeed we have tonight on Retro Unlim Live 37. First of all, it is Mr. Rich Higton, the 90s video game dude who's holding up all his fingers. Hello!
I was trying to do 37, but 35 to, there we go, 37. Hello!
Hi!
Greetings.
How are you doing this week?
I'm lovely. Thank you very much. Just thinking, actually, when you said putting it up on the website, I've actually not put my new video up on Retro Unlim yet, which I need to do. But that's by the by. But yes, I'm very, very good. I'm radiant, sir. Radiant.
Ah, I thought you said you were raging for a minute there, and I like your Stay Puffed shirt.
Thank you very much.
Stay
It's an
Puft
8-bit
Marshmallow
Stay
Man.
Puft. 8-bit Stay Puft Marshmallow Man in the style of Final Fantasy.
Oh, cool. That's excellent.
Excellent. Oh.
It's totally excellent, dude. Rich, I have a bone to pick with you.
What have we done?
I have a bone to pick with you, dude. What happened to Chippy Chips episode 2? Has it gone up on Retro Unlim yet?
It has, yeah. It was supposed to go out Wednesday, but supposedly Burhan had some problems, so it went out yesterday, and it's now available on YouTube. No, not YouTube, iTunes. So yes, it went out yesterday.
Ah,
but
so
unfortunately,
go on.
we didn't have your lovely artwork didn't make it. Although I did send it to Burhan, but
No, I'm disappointed. No, actually, I'm going to go and look that up after this show and give it a listen, because I've been waiting all week for that to come out. I checked on Wednesday night, and it was not there, and I was sorely disappointed. You can download that from where, Mr. Rich?
You can download it from iTunes if you just search for either the Retro Unlim Network or Chippy Chips in the podcast section of the iTunes store.
Yes, that's Chippy Chips.
There's also a link to said thing on the Chippy Chips official Facebook page.
Oh, really? And what might be the link to the Facebook page?
I don't bloody know, but if you type in Chippy Chips in the search thing, it'll come up there.
Chippy Chips Facebook. Okay.
Yes.
Oh, motherfucker!
blogtalkradio.com/RU-network. Thank you very much. You can go and visit that, download all sorts of interesting shows, and indeed, you heard in the background there, Mr. Aidan Watkins. Hello!
How's it going, guys? Apologies for that outburst, I just died, so I'm angry.
He didn't literally die, he died within a video game context, ladies and gentlemen.
I've never played one of these video games. What are they about?
Well, you see, it's a game like you play in the street, or on a video.
Right.
Whoa, that's rather fancy, isn't it?
Technology, eh?
Oh, isn't it magnificent? So what have you got on your table behind you tonight, Aidan?
Just most of my collection, basically. Here we have my Sega Master System collection, my Mega Drive, my Mega CD, and some SNES bits. And my most proudest one so far is probably this. Oh yes, bask in its glory.
But you also have Legend of Zelda: A Link to the Past right next to it there.
Yeah.
How prized is that?
Quite, but it's not worth as much as Secret of Mana, so...
How much is Secret of Mana worth?
On eBay, it goes for about... My copy's boxed and complete, and that tends to go for about £130. I managed to get it for 60, so I thought, why not?
Boxed and complete SNES seems quite expensive to me.
Yeah, that's why I only go for cartridge only, to be honest with you, because I play the games, I don't just collect them, so...
Okay. Do you have another story to tell us regarding a particularly rare game?
Yeah, that one we were speaking about off air. Well, basically, this game was the last game released on the Sega Saturn, the PAL territory. It's Sega's own version of Resident Evil, a complete rip-off, but it's surprisingly good, and the voice acting is terrible. I highly recommend checking it out. I paid 50p for the 2 discs, which is fine for me, but there is Deep Fear on the Sega Saturn. Oh, there we go.
Well, that deserves a hearty round of applause. We're not doing the sound effects tonight. We're just doing Foley. So.
Oh, that's a shame. The sound effects make it somewhat special.
Well, they may be back for show 2, but for show 1, we're going to leave them off the menu because a few people have been complaining about them, saying they were rather gimmicky. I wonder who could have complained about that, eh? Not naming any names. Snob.
I was literally about to say he was a snob. Seems like something you'd ever fucking moan about, doesn't it?
If there's a complaint, it's usually Snob. All right, let's see if we've had any comments so far. Okay, Retro Unlim says, "Good evening." Good evening.
Good evening, Mr. Unlim.
Mr. Steve.
Salutations, Mr. Steve Richards. Yes, hopefully you won't be doing the Ice Bucket Challenge. Colo CPC says, Action Yaxon. I'll just write that down for the next episode for my introductions. And Retro Unlim says, Burn, you're fired. That was Retro Unlim Sugar there. And Lactobacillus Prime is also here. He says, Evening, people. Evening.
Good evening.
Evening, Mr. Prime.
I'm aware that I appear slightly rude, and I do apologise. I am paying attention to everyone, and I am talking. It's just I'm enjoying Yoshi's Island too.
Well, that's the good thing. That's the good thing about these streams. You can multitask. It's a modern video gaming multitask.
Oh, and just to emphasise, real hardware, no emulation here.
Yes. Retro Unlim supports real hardware, none of that emulated crap. And just to reiterate tonight, this is Let the Man Speak. If there's any over-talking, one of us has to say, Let the man speak. And once we clock up 10 of those, Mr. Retro Unlim has to take... No, it's the other way around, isn't it? If we have 10 or less, Let the Man Speaks, Retro Unlim is going to be taking the Ice Bucket Challenge. I'm going to re-explain that a little bit later on when we have a few more guests in. But for now...
Yes.
Do you think we should move on to the birthdays?
Yes, we should.
Happy birthday.
After that screw up from Mr. Harriak, never mind.
And here's something we should also wonder, is where the bloody hell is everyone else?
Yes! Where are you all? Come on! Get on down here to the Retro Unlim live stream. I've sent out loads of...
bastards.
Yes, I've sent out loads of invitations, but they've not answered the call. Never mind, we'll continue as is. Birthdays, aha, now, speaking of people entering the call, it is Chris, a.k.a. Novabugson. Hello!
Hello, how are you?
What?
Good evening, Christopher.
Good evening, everyone. How is everyone doing? Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes, we can. Unfortunately, yes, we can. Yes.
Oh, thank you.
I'm only joking. We're good, I think, all of us, aren't we?
Yeah, I suppose so.
We've already established that tonight. It's a nice, relaxing start to this week's comeback episode. Yes. So, how have you been this week, Chris?
Working hard. I've had a lot of long shifts, and Yeah, basically that. Trying to sort of get money, and that's a general thing. But look at this. Look, this is good. My daughter brought this home.
Oh, there's R2 there.
Lovely little R2 model.
That was a better impression than mine.
Very good.
I'm not seeing your camera, unfortunately, Chris.
Oh, actually.
Oh, can you?
No,
Oh, I
there's no
can see
camera.
his face.
There's just a logo, that's all I see.
Can you see my
I
face,
can see
Rich?
him.
I can see you.
I can see your face.
He's a real boy.
I'm
Uh-huh.
definitely here, Aiden. I really am.
Can we
Perhaps
see
my-
Yes, I
R2D2
can see
again?
his face.
Sorry.
Maybe my Google's just going a bit crazy, but all I see is literally the Novabug logo. I
To
can see
me,
you fine, Rich.
To me, that looks a little bit like a Dalek.
He's got R2's legs. Look, they move as well.
He's got wings.
So my daughter came home and said, "Oh, I've got R2D2. I've got R2D2." I was like,
What's in the back there?
"Hey,
What goes in the back
Rich?
there? Which
nothing.
lifted
It's
up?
just it's just the screw holes.
What?
Just
Oh, okay.
yeah,
Oh, right, I
It's
see.
got
Yeah.
5 screw holes.
5.
Ah.
And I
Yes.
said, "Where does R2D2 come from?" She says, "Don't know."
They come from Star Wars.
Oh.
Stocks it on teas, I believe.
Does he? Right, Chris, you're here just in time for the birthday.
Excellent.
And these are actually a repeat of last year's birthdays. We must have streamed on this day last year, because I remember these. But anyway, I'll repeat them. No, we'll probably end up repeating what we said last year. James Corden is now 35. He was 34 the last time we mentioned this. And I must repeat that his middle name is Kimberly.
Kimberly
There you go.
Gordon's.
Interesting.
Still younger than me.
There is that. Steve Davis, the snooker player, is 56 years old today.
Happy birthday, Steve.
No opportune. Yes, no opportune ball jokes forthcoming.
I was just about to say that's very interesting.
Ah, very interesting indeed. As he munches his pizza. Tori Amos, the singer, is 51, and Jimmy and Jay Uso, the WWE Tag Team Wrestlers, are both 28 today. I presume they're twins. So there you go.
They are.
That is.
They're also the nephews of The Rock, I believe.
Do you know, here's an interesting thought, actually. Who's the youngest person on Retro Unlim?
Dan?
Ah.
Dan Central?
Is it Dan Central?
How old is he?
I think so.
Dan's in his early 20s, isn't he?
What about the little
As far as
retro
I'm
brothers?
aware, yes.
Oh well, little retro brothers.
Yeah.
Okay.
If you want to count them, yeah.
What about the
Not
Mini
long.
Nova?
Not that they're not valued members, it's just, you know, they can't exactly join us on stream.
We could ask them. They have done once, I believe.
We'd probably get done as some kind of like retro paedophile ring or something.
What were you about to say there, Harry?
There's Mini Nova Bug.
I've got 2 mini Nova bugs and a third mini Nova bug on the way. That's really young. That's like -1 years old.
There you go. That's the youngest retro unlimmer.
But is he/she member of Retro and Lim? Because, you know, let's face it, we don't even know its sex yet, so how can it be a member of a website?
Well, you could film the bump and then write game reviews on it.
I did that already.
Then their own channel.
I did that with the Ice Bucket Challenge, as you probably noticed.
How did that go, Chris?
Did you watch it?
No.
Well, there you go. Then you won't know how it went.
Okay, then. I guess we've all got to go and watch his video if we want to know how it went. Thank you for that. That fantastic update on the Ice Bucket Challenge from Mr. Nova Bugson of the Pizza Munching.
Well, let's put it this way. It didn't go swimmingly.
I see what he did there.
Yeah, very good.
Wah. Oh, no cheesy sound effects. No.
Where was the sound effect? Oh, I was waiting for the sound effect there. It didn't happen. Harry,
No,
you're
We're not allowed
slacking.
sound effects. Scott
Well, now
Snob
you
doesn't
think
like
of-
the sound effects.
I thought we weren't allowed to talk over each other.
Ah, yes, and we've already been doing some of that so far. But I have never said, let the man speak. So,
But it hasn't been like really bad though, has it? It's, you know, it's not like people have been like 6 people talking at once over each other to be heard. It's just been a bit more like, you know, I blame it more on the Google Hangout lag more than ignorance and rudeness.
yeah, that
I
is
think
true.
so.
I
Maybe
blame
we
my
should
old
just,
microphone.
just blame everything on your microphone.
Yeah.
We should just blame Google Plus. That's just the stock response to everything on this show. King Arthur is here. King Arthur is here. He says, it's good to see everyone, but King Arthur, you do not see me.
Ah.
No
Mind
one
blown.
sees Harry Yak.
Nobody sees the yak of the Harry. You've got to come to Play Expo to see me when we do that special panel that we've been planning for so long. No, really?
Really?
Yes.
If people are going to be going to that next year, I'm definitely going to be going since I actually know about it in advance for a change rather than it being like, oh yeah, you come in. It's like, what?
So, are you talking about the one in October rather, in Manchester, or the one in Blackpool in May next year?
I was thinking Blackpool because I think that's like the main big one, isn't it? Am I correct in saying that? Or are they all the same?
The one in
Manchester's,
October.
Sort of.
Go on.
Manchester's bigger. It has more stuff. It has more. It's more. Like the Blackpool one is just games. The Manchester one is all films and stuff now, and then they got like film guests and all sorts of people there.
Yes, and don't forget
It's
the
more of a-
esports. Ooh, the lag
EA
got us there.
Sports?
The esports.
No, not EA Sports. It's in the game.
Don't they have Lister and Rimmer?
Guys, I have to be very rude for just a second. I need to make a phone call. I shall be back in about a moment or two. I'm ordering my Indian food.
Fair enough.
It's going to tempt us by eating food on the stream, just like Chris was. Righty, let us move on to On This Day, This Stuff Happened. I don't know. 1969, Beatles record the video for the song Long and Winding Road. That's a very interesting On This Day, Steve. You've topped yourself there. 1984, the last Volkswagen Rabbit is produced. Has anybody ever ridden in or driven a Volkswagen Rabbit?
What the fuck's a Volkswagen Rabbit?
It's
I didn't
literally
even
a
know there
rabbit
was
with
a
a
Volkswagen
Volkswagen
Rabbit, to be
sign.
honest.
Well, neither did I, but Dave keeps mentioning them, I do believe.
What the hell's a Volkswagen Rabbit? Never heard of it.
And on that note, 1987, Madonna's Who's That Girl single goes straight in at #1 in the singles chart.
Good song. Good song.
Pretty good.
Good old Madge.
Love all the 80s stuff.
And there you go. That is the On This Day for now. More On This Day in part 2. Join us again then. But carry on watching now, please. Don't tune out just for the sake of that. Just one more check of the comments. And I can see that we have had
None.
no more comments except Colo CPC saying, I see you. Yes, you always see me because you are sitting outside my window currently. You stalker, you. Right. So has anybody anything they'd like to bring up this week, ladies and gentlemen?
Well, I'm
The
not going to
curry
bring
I've
up...
just had.
Go on, Rich.
I was just going to say the curry I had was a bit dodgy, so I may bring that up at some point later.
Well, that was a fantastic joke worthy of the Retro Unlim live stream. Thank you.
I'm just about to make an equally bad joke. I'm saying I'm not going to bring up the pizza because it's actually rather tasty.
Hey,
I've
Channel
just
Slim.
finished watching RoboCop, the remake, and I'm going to give you my quick, short review. Started slow, started predictable, got better, ended shit. There you go.
Yes, I'd probably agree with that.
That's my summary of the new RoboCop. Not as bad as I thought it was going to be, to be honest.
Yes.
The middle bit was actually pretty good, with all the emotional shit going on with Alex and everything. That's good stuff. Ending brief, crap, and the build-up just took so long. There you go. What do you think, Rich?
I think it was lacking a villain, a proper villain, like
Yeah.
what's his face in the original? What's his name?
Splinter.
In the original RoboCop. Not Splinter.
Oh, Clarence
Yeah,
Boddicker.
Clarence Boddicker, yes.
Clarence Boddicker,
He makes that. He makes that film. He's brilliant.
Yeah, because he's a
Clarence
real
Boddicker.
nasty piece of work, and you don't. Yeah, I mean this Anton fella. He caps him off pretty easily.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And he hasn't got.
Go on.
No, I was going to say he hasn't got the great one-liners, but Clarence Boddicker's got like, give the man a hand, and
Yeah, it's definitely
Bitches
missing
leave.
a better baddie. Yeah, I mean Michael Keaton's actually okay in it, but he's like a sub baddie, isn't he? I mean, he's not really a primary baddie. But Gary Oldman, I'm a big fan of Gary Oldman's work anyway, and I think he did a great performance in it.
I do like the fact that 89 Batman and new Commissioner Gordon are in the same film together. That's cool.
Yeah, the best Batman for my money
Oh yes,
is Michael Keaton.
good old Keats.
Yeah, good Bruce
about-
Wayne. Best Bruce Wayne as well.
What about Adam West?
Yeah, what about Adam West?
He was the best. Adam West is the best in the West.
He has the hairy chest.
Yes.
All right, I'm going now. I've had two falling flat jokes, so that's it.
Yeah.
Fuck
So
you.
anyway, in summary, it's I weren't too disappointed with it in the end, but it's just one of them typical remakes, isn't it? It borrows things from the original, like the soundtrack, for instance, and all the classic one-liners are in there, just sandwiched in for the fandom.
Well, we've got some comments coming in regarding RoboCop from Retro Unlim himself. He says, Novabug, Snob will love that RoboCop review. And he also says, RoboCop, does it hurt? Does it hurt?
That's not in it, though. That bit's not in it.
I like the fact that they did use the original theme. At
Yeah,
some
I
point
like that.
During the movie, which was nice.
And like I say, you got all the catchphrases all up here. You know, dead or alive, you come with me. There's another one. I'd buy that for $1. It says it once with that militant guy who's a lunatic. Yeah, yeah. It's got bits of for the fans in there, but it's not the original, is it? I mean, nothing can touch the original.
But then it's not
Especially
trying to be the
RoboCop
original.
No, that's true, Aiden. It's not trying to be the original, but
That's
why did it borrow parts from the original to be so?
Because, like you said, they're trying to. Obviously, the people who are going to go see the film, there's going to be a new generation going to see it, obviously, who probably haven't seen the original, so it's got to appeal to them.
Yeah.
And of course, you're going to have people who have seen the original RoboCop's going to see it, and they're just little throwbacks, nothing more.
That's right. Yeah, I agree. I fully agree.
In that
Reminds
respect.
me of Terminator 3 in a way. Sorry.
Oh god. Oh yeah. And by the way, just as you can tell, greetings YouTube. I'm back. Okay, guess who that was? Yeah, I was about to say. I was wondering if you guys recognise.
Was that an impression of somebody?
Yeah.
Who?
It was a loving. It was done. It was done with love, though. Yeah, because
Yes, of course.
Carl was done with love. That's what you want.
Oh, it was Carl.
Yeah. Did you think really?
Sorry. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a 20-minute video, and I'm just going to edit greetings YouTube from Carl and hello YouTube from Stu, and just make a 20-minute video of them just alternating.
And then if you send them to me, I'll make a techno remix if you want.
Yes.
Greetings YouTube. Dun, dun, dun. Greetings YouTube.
Somebody.
It has to end with Novabug out.
Yeah. Oh,
Sexy biscuits.
Sexy biscuits.
Nice.
Somebody has got to go out there and download all of Woodland's videos, cut out the greetings YouTubes from the beginning, put them end to end in a sort of compilation. I would watch it. We could see, it'd be like one of those videos on the internet. Man takes a picture of himself every day for a year. You can see the progression of Woodland as he progressively gets more drunk.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
I'd watch it, but I wouldn't make it.
The trailer for this
end.
show. The trailer for this show was just so funny when it just got everybody just disappeared and just Woodland sitting there topless drinking booze, looking like really
Yeah.
perplexed.
I would have to honestly say parts of the trailer were funny. And I'll leave it at that.
Yeah.
I'll leave
Fair
it at
enough.
that.
Oh
Right,
god. Was it the snob who was like, for fuck's sake, Chris, let him speak, and then you just like there, just looking silently? Was he referring to you, or am I wrong?
No, well,
Yes.
it was. That was the stream. But me and Scott have spoken about this, and it's behind us. It's past. It's history. And yeah, we were both, to be honest, a little bit not upset, but a little bit freaked to see it in the trailer again, because we weren't sort of, well, that's not one of our finest moments there. Yeah. Anyway, whatever. Just it was what it was, and
Let bygones be bygones.
Exactly. I mean,
Yeah.
me and Scott,
Don't.
we had a great road trip so
Yeah.
we're good buds. No problem.
Excellent. Right, can we move on to the news, please? Because I don't want to dwell on these nasty things. Firstly, I must say also, apologies if we are actually talking over each other, which is supposed to be the opposite of what we're doing tonight. But I believe there is some hangout lag, unfortunately. Sorry about that.
It does happen. And it's, again though, it's not like we're being like, I'm talking and then someone's trying to butt in on purpose over the top of me. It's that I think is a bit more the context, if I'm correct.
Yeah.
Yes.
I think a lot of the time what happens is someone says something, and then like 3 or 4 people immediately think of something to reply to it, and they speak at the same time. It's not like they're listening, because it just happens, doesn't it? You speak, and then someone else speaks simultaneously.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then you thought like, well, I've got to shut up now and whatever.
I think it's because of my terrible internet connection tonight. Ah, somebody has entered the chat. Kit171, are you there?
Yeah, I'm a little late, but I'm here.
Oh, that's okay. Dave's usually a lot
I was
later than this.
I was kind of distracted. I was doing a hill climb in a game, but anyway, I'm here now.
Ah, you were out hunting Vulcan Raven and Revolver Ocelot, Snake.
No, it's just the picture I have now. No, I was busy power sliding around, but I just remembered that this was going on.
Power slide.
How you doing, Mike? You alright?
No use complaining.
Fair enough.
The tone of his voice and that just basically sums it up, doesn't it?
Well, hopefully we can cheer you up tonight. Well, unfortunately, the first piece of news is not necessarily a cheering one. It's a bit of an announcement. Here we go. And it's regarding Mr. Robin Williams, recently deceased, unfortunately. Everybody at Retro Unlim would like to send the families and fans of the actor, Robin Williams, who recently passed away, their condolences. So, I pose this question to the people in the stream and in the chat right now. What is your favourite Robin Williams film?
I really like Mrs. Doubtfire, but I like his role better in Dead Poets Society.
Yeah, loads of people say that, actually.
He won an Academy Award or I think Golden Globe for it. I can't remember.
I'd probably go with 1 Hour Photo.
I like that one. That's good.
Is a great film.
Yes.
Very good.
Very good indeed. In fact,
The Fisher
I might
King's
take
supposed
that
to be
one
good.
too.
Yes.
Yes.
I thought
about
the
you,
Fisher
Nova?
King's supposed to be good.
Chris, you want to go next?
Yeah. What was I going to say? Well,
He's on IMDb.
to me, I tell you what. To me, the first film I saw him in was Popeye, right?
Oh.
And I thought that was as much as bad as it is. I thought it was hilarious. And then I saw, obviously after that, Good Morning Vietnam. And for me, there's not a film that touches one of his any film that he's done since. Good Morning Vietnam is just unbelievable. It's such a fucking good film. It really is in every level. It's funny, and it does that. What I like to call this the Only Fools and Horses mix, where it mixes comedy with the serious subject matter brilliantly. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
I got you.
You get that version when you go from comedy and you switch in like 2 seconds to something really serious, and it works so good. He does it so well. That the first radio broadcast he does, which is mostly improv, is just so funny. It's just one of the funniest things I've seen on film.
It is.
I think it's got to be that's my vote. I do like Bicentennial Man as well.
I like that too, and a lot of people gave it a lot of crap, but it wasn't as bad as some made it out to be.
No, I don't think it was. You're right, Mike. I think it was. I think it was quite good, and I think his performance in it is very good.
You know what I think it is, and it's the same kind of thing as I've heard some people say about like 1 Hour Photo and Dead Poet Society and some other things. Is at first I didn't realize either because I was used to him doing his stand-up and his voices and his comedy stuff like that, you know, in Aladdin and all. And then the first time I ever saw him in something serious, I didn't really. I'm not saying he wasn't skilled and that he couldn't pull it off. I just didn't know he could because there are some actors who can't do both.
Yeah.
But he can pull it off really well, and I was surprised. And some of my favorite stuff he did do wasn't comedy related. You know, like I said, I do like Mrs. Doubtfire, but some of the more serious stuff he did, I liked a lot more. Like that, I can't remember the name of it, but that one he was.
Good Will Hunting.
Yeah, and that one that he was in with Al Pacino. I can never remember the name of it, but that was really good too.
Yeah. Can't remember that.
Yes, I believe the BBC screened Good Will Hunting the other night.
As for me, I think for me, like obviously being younger than most of you folks, I've heard a lot about Good Morning Vietnam. I should probably give that a watch, but for me, like the one that sticks out, or the two that stick out the most to me, obviously Aladdin. That's my favourite Disney film of all time, and I just love the fact, like, I watched the making of it, and they say that when they got Robin Williams in, they had like a basic script, but just about 70% of everything he said was completely improvised, and it just worked perfectly.
He was big into ad-libbing, and you could tell, but it works out very well.
Yeah, like his personality and his spirit really like shines through the film, which is something that I really liked. But then another film which no one's mentioned yet, but really upset me, but at the same time like fills you with joy and like gives you perspective, is Patch Adams.
That's good too, and sometimes people give that crap too, but again, I think it's just more they didn't really know what to expect from it. That, and some people really get annoyed when they find out that what happens in the movie, they changed a lot of things from what happened in reality. But
welcome to movies,
I think they forget that a lot of times they change it. Just because it says based on does not mean they directly add it. It's say like Jurassic Park. That's adapted and it's based on the book, but there's a lot of things that are different and changed.
Very much so. Yeah, I've read the book and I've watched the film. They're very different in a lot of ways. Yeah. In fact, you'll probably know this, Mike, that part of the first book actually features in the third film.
Yeah, I love that series. I have all the books.
Yeah, the menagerie scene.
Yep.
Almost word for word, that plays out with obviously different characters, but it plays out in the third film, and you're watching that and thinking, well, that scene is an entire chapter from the first book.
And the third one was not even written by, it wasn't even based on Crichton.
No.
He only did the first two.
No, it was all screenwriters. Yeah. But they lifted that from the first book because they obviously didn't film it or shoot it from they couldn't fit it into the first film. And it's amazing the differences you get between books and films.
In the book, right at the start, isn't there a scene where they're on a beach?
Yeah,
and they've got.
That's right, yeah.
Or is that
it's
in
on
the film?
Eastlis.
Yes,
it's on Eastlis Sorna.
And they've got. Yeah, and they've got the dinosaur in a big crate.
Yeah,
big
so
cage.
a rich family.
Yeah.
A rich family is there on the beach, and their daughter gets attacked by a Procomptosaurus.
Yeah. Which is another reason I like the game Trespasser so much, because even though it's a broken mess and unfinished and always will be, it goes to some of those places and those scenes from the Lost World, and it shows more of that. You actually see that rich people, they actually made a mansion on that island. Of course, it's all taken over by the plants and run down, but it expands on that. And that's why one of the reasons I do like that game. The Lost World has a lot of stuff that was cut out of it. That's why
I enjoyed the first two books. And actually, if you detach yourself from the books, the first two films are very enjoyable on their own.
You have to do that with a lot of things, and if you do, you can enjoy it. That's why I've always says, like the Super Mario Brothers movie, if you don't associate as much as you can with the games, then you'll probably like some things about it. You know?
Yeah, I agree with that. That's the thing. I mean, I understand, like you hit the nail on the head. It's based off doesn't mean it. That's what I mean. Just based off it. Like I can say my guitar playing is based off another guy's. I have a perfect example of this. You know?
I got a perfect example of this. I just remembered. A lot of people used to bring this up, and I forgot about it for a long time. But that one that has Will Smith in it, I Am Legend.
Yeah.
That one is one of the ones where it's vastly changed from what it is in the book.
Yeah.
Same thing with Conan. Some people don't realize that either. Conan is very changed from the. I can't remember who originally did the books, but it's very different from that.
Some films do remove it too much though, and it gets to the point where it's not enjoyable anymore.
Then you have the opposite, where they add stuff. That's what surprised me with the Hobbit movies. Is how can you make three almost 3 hour long movies out of something that's 10 pages?
Yeah,
I don't get that.
What you said about video games converting into films, I think the reason Super Mario Brothers. I don't like that film, right? Because I think it's a different context when it comes to book to film.
Well, I did a whole video talking about it as among one of the first videos I did, and I explained it as basically, look,
Okay.
there's no way anyone
I'll
could.
go back and look at that. I'll go back and watch that. But
There's no way they could have made it just like the game because
no,
it
you
would,
can't do that, of course.
it
But
wouldn't work.
therefore,
Let the man talk.
Oh, who said that then? Who said that?
That was me.
Well, I don't know.
Hey,
It's
hang on a
impossible
minute.
to tell.
Hang on a minute, me and Mike are just having a conversation. What's going on?
I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, we're just having a conversation. Shut
I
up,
didn't-
Aidan.
I'm overruling that on the basis of hangout lag.
I've lost my train of thought now. Fuck it.
Well,
I'm not defending it, you know. I'm just saying.
No, what I'm saying is that when it comes to, I think video games versus films, it's a vast range of minefield of kind of.
You know what
things
the real
to
problem
avoid
is?
With.
There's one problem that most don't seem to bring up with this, and maybe they don't realize it, is because video games are the way they are. They're kind of a unique media form.
Well, they're
that combine
interactive
all these
starters.
others. They combine all these other media forms, and some people don't realize other media forms don't really transition well into others,
Exactly.
like books and the movies.
Right. No, I
And the
agree.
problem is video games don't do that in reverse. They really
Yeah.
don't.
No, they don't.
Say
No, I
what you
agree.
want about. You can say what you want about bad movie games. You know, their transition to that.
Some work though. Some work.
Yeah,
I mean, the
they
Mortal
do.
Kombat. I like the Mortal Kombat film. I think
But the
that
real problem is if you try to make a game into a movie.
Oh yeah.
That's where the issue comes in. I'm not saying it's impossible, but they haven't been really
Yeah.
doing it the right way.
I tell you, when you get a real problem is when you make a game out of a film, and then the film is made back into a game.
Yeah.
A la Street Fighter,
Yeah.
the movie, the game.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I was just about to
That's
bring
just
up.
an absolute train wreck.
Right, guys, we have a new entrant to the call.
Yeah.
Is he here? Mr. Retro Games 1979. Hello!
Aloha.
Is it working? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
I
I
did.
can hear you. We can't see you though.
I thought it was
10-4.
on me.
We can see you in vectorized format.
Hey, at least I
Thank
got my
you.
camera going this time.
Hi, StewTube. How's it hanging?
Yeah, good. Thanks. I'll try and sort my camera out. I'll just be a minute doing that. But how is everyone tonight?
Wonderful. Thank you, Stuart. How are you?
Hey, Sarah, Sarah.
It's interesting. Nobody answered that question straight away because we're so afraid of the hangout lag. They don't want him. We don't want anybody to say, "Let the man speak." No, that doesn't count. We're still on 0 currently. We may have to hold that over to the second show. But
Zero what? Viewers?
we have 0 saying, I meant as well. Repeat
The view
this.
count on live things like this doesn't really work right. I know that from watching Yellcast and stuff. And anymore lately, some people, I'm one of them, can't even rate videos. It just doesn't register. So it's the typical glitches on this site.
Yes, it's exactly what you've come to expect from the Retro Unlim live stream.
Yeah.
I will repeat that tonight's show is called Let the Man Speak, and the challenge is that if there are 10 or less interruptions where the Let the Man Speak phrase is uttered, then Mr. Retro Unlim himself is going to be taking the Ice Bucket Challenge, followed by a donation to the ALS charity. And that's going to go up on the website next week.
Good. I've already done it.
But we're still on 0 currently.
So if you
we're
talk
still
over,
on.
Speak.
No, that doesn't count.
Oh.
It's got to be quite bad. It's got to be non-hangout lag related.
It's
We'll see if
bad, okay?
Okay.
Got to sort this out.
how do we know though?
Harry,
Yeah,
can you
what?
explain again? I'm confused. What have we got to do?
Welcome to my
Right,
world.
okay. Right. I'll repeat this for the sake of everybody out there. The challenge tonight is that if there are 10 or less interruptions where the phrase "let the man speak" is uttered,
What kind of
i.e.
interruptions is that?
over talking, as in Lawn Boys Post 1975 interruptions, speaking
Is he on
whole
tonight?
sentence. I believe he is. So we may chalk up a whole 10 in the second show. But we
Yeah.
do have some hangout lag, which is a dirty word.
It's not as bad as if you were doing something on Twitch, though, I gotta say.
Ooh, don't talk to me about
Ooh.
Twitch.
Bad
But
rap in Twitch.
But to bring the subject back to Robin Williams, there is a news story doing the rounds this week, and Nintendo have responded to a petition for Robin Williams to be a character in a Zelda game.
I saw that and I read it, and it's the most passive way of denying a request.
No, I don't agree. No, I don't agree.
Read it again.
I've read it. I've read it.
Doesn't really respond to this kind of stuff. They don't
I've
do that
read
kind
it.
of stuff.
I think it's actually quite classy.
The chances of them doing it are slim.
Well, I don't know about the chances of it, but the fact that they're obviously alluding to the fact that they don't want to cash in on.
I'd be happy if they just
death.
started. I'd be happy if they just started marketing advertising like they used to.
No,
That's
well, not
more
on the
important.
back of his death.
No, just advertising the Wii U. That's a problem they still haven't dealt with, but that's something else entirely.
Well, the sales are up in the US, but that's beside the point. No, I saw their response and I thought actually it was well thought out and well worded. Oh, hang on.
Oh, well, anyway, here is the statement from Nintendo. As Chris puts the fire out, the spokesperson says, "We appreciate the outpouring of support from the gaming community and hear the request of fans to honour Robin Williams in a future game. But we will not be discussing what might be possible for future games during this difficult time. However, we will hold our memories of Robin close." Response?
That's a no then.
No,
Like I just said.
Yeah.
I've seen others say it too.
No, I think that's all right.
It's the way that's how they do things. That's Nintendo.
Nintendo do what they like when they like.
That's what makes them unique.
But the thing is, I mean, you know, just because somebody asked, I don't see.
Well, Nintendo
Why
doesn't
you
really
do it?
respond well to petitions. This has been seen many times before. Only when a massive amount complain. That's how like the Operation Rainfall thing worked with Xenoblade Chronicles and the last story. That's the only reason that worked, because so many complained about it.
Yeah, Nintendo don't like to respond. They like to do their own thing, which is fine, and we love them for it. And also, we love Mr. Chris Ashankt, who has just joined us.
Hello.
Hello,
Chris.
Hello, Cock. How's it hanging?
Yeah, good. Cheers, you.
How's your cocks?
I think we killed him.
You've killed them? Have you eaten them?
For dinner.
No!
Maybe. What? Where are the cocks, Phil?
Ready for Sunday lunch?
What? Where are the cocks? Cockerels.
Fetch the cocks.
Where are they? Are they in the garage now?
In the garage, in
There's
the
only one,
freezer.
is it? Where is it? Is it out in the cage? It's in the garage. It's in the garage.
In the garage, in the chest freezer.
Ladies and gentlemen, Chris's cocks are in his garage.
Apparently, there's 8 watching now.
8 cocks? His cocks are watching in the garage on computer. All 8 of
See
them.
Chris.
See, there's the soundbite for you, which we can now is just Chris over and over again asking where the cocks are.
I've got something that you might like, Chris. My daughter brought home.
R2D2.
Yeah. Nice little
There he
model of
is.
R2D2 there. I thought it was quite quality.
I can imitate R2D2 whistling, but it might hurt.
Will it work on the lag?
It should.
From which orifice will you be whistling?
Why is there lag today anyway?
It's the way it is.
It's Mr. Harry X Connection. It's terrible. We'll get this sorted for show 2, ladies and gentlemen, I promise, because it's making a mockery of our show title. and our
I'll tell you
show
what.
premise.
I'll tell you what, Harry. Your connection's been like that for quite a bit now, isn't it?
Really, has it?
Yeah. Do you remember a couple of weeks back we were doing a collab and it started to play up and you sort of blacking out, weren't you?
I don't remember. Maybe
Yeah,
I literally
Put
did
that
black
stuff in
out.
before you know.
Oh, Chris? What? Sorry?
What? Let the man speak.
Chris is ordering his takeaway. That's what Chris say.
I've got mine already.
That was me.
Right,
One
more
second.
news, do you think? Right, well, Chris has gone to do
Yes.
whatever he's going to do. The next piece of news from this week's Cavalcade news stories. Night Trap revamped Kickstarter. Yes, indeed, there is a Kickstarter available on the website, kickstarter.com, and it currently has 35 grand of its 330 grand goal, 18 days to go, and this is for a high-def return of the game Night Trap, which was a
Who's
cult classic
developing it?
back in the day.
Is
Sorry?
Dana Plato going to be in it again?
I have yet to find this.
What
Well,
platform?
Look.
Who's the developer?
These are all questions which I must answer.
Do they have
Right.
the rights to actually do this, or is it another one of these we'll get the rights later after we've got all the money.
It's one of those we'll get the rights later. It's a bunch of people that have no credentials or background in any game development. It's just a complete waste of time.
One of
Well,
those.
Square Enix has nothing to do with it because then they'll just complain that it didn't sell enough.
Yeah. So it was like that bloke that tried to say we were going to make a Pokemon game without getting Nintendo's permission.
Good luck
Yeah.
with that.
Half-Life 3.
Yeah, I seen the Half-Life 3 one. That was crazy as well.
Yeah, and he shut it down because he realized Valve will come after him.
And
I don't know,
no
like,
one
does
would
it-
bother.
Are these people, they really don't think that they can get away with that and these companies aren't going to protect their IP?
They don't, do they? They don't think. They look at the money, they put it on Kickstarter, and they say, oh, we can make a bit of money from this, and then they realise when people start giving them grief, they realise, oh shit, big multinational company's going to come after me.
I was surprised to hear about this Night Trap one, though, and I think it's going to be the same deal as this Shaq Fu 2. Either people will be interested in it, or they won't, or anything. But mainly, the people who are going to get this revamped version of Night Trap are going to be people who already like the original one, which, since I'm a sucker for FMV games, I'm one of those people. But unless they put it on the computer, I can't play it.
You should do a new version of Mad Dog McCree. That was lovely.
Yes, that was a fun game.
I'd rather have a new Road Avenger.
Yeah, that'd be quite nice actually.
Or actually, a new
By-
Phantasmagoria. No, I want a new Phantasmagoria, and I want it to be just as crazy as the second one.
God, I remember watching Spoonie play through that. That game was weird.
Yeah. I played it long ago. I like that game a lot. In fact, I have it. I just can't get it to run. I wish I knew him. I could ask him what that obscure trick he said he did to get it to work.
Yeah.
Same reason I want to get Ripper, because I love that FMV game too, but that one's even more notoriously hard. In fact, there's actually an entire site dedicated to telling you how to get it to run.
Bloody hell.
Those Windows 3.1 games that use these obscure versions of QuickTime are a pain in the ass.
Speaking of Windows, Windows 9 is due for release next year.
I don't want to think about it.
Bloody
I don't
hell,
wanna
that
think
was,
about
that
it.
was quick.
I know, it was quick, wasn't it? And they realised because of Windows 8 is shit.
I'm going to
Yeah,
go back to
this-
Linux. I've had
this-
enough of Windows. I've had enough of Microsoft and their ways.
I've just got
Going
to
back to
say,
Commodore Basic.
Let the man speak.
what happened?
Oh, there we go.
Well, I'm gonna have to. No, I can't overrule it. I can't keep overruling it on the basis of the Hangout. Like, I was
Oh.
just gonna make a stupid joke about tonight's input lag is brought to you by Windows.
Vista.
Yes, Windows 8 actually.
Vista's shite.
Windows 95, that one was pretty bad.
Windows 3.
No, Windows Bob. Windows Bob, the one everyone always forgets about. It's real.
My
Yeah,
theory,
it was an educational OS. Literally, it looked like from what I remember, it was like a living room and had a campfire, and it was meant for like kids. It was educational OS. And
Yeah.
it was easier to work, and you like click on the chair to do certain things. The only thing I was wondering is like, can I run DOS games in it? But I never
my
got to.
theory on Microsoft operating systems is that since Windows 95 they go hit, miss, hit, miss, hit,
Yeah,
miss, hit,
It
miss.
is alternating.
They go 95, brilliant. 98, shite. Okay, and then you got a lump 2000.
Actually, 98 was better than 95.
I
the
don't
most
think
part.
so. No,
Millennium was
from my
bad.
experience.
XP was good. It just looked like it was
Well,
made by Fisher Price.
I think XP was awesome.
It looked
think
like it was
XP
made by Fisher
brilliant.
Price, though. It looked kind of goofy.
Vista, absolute crap. Vista, the memory management in Vista is terrible, awful. It's so slow. 7, brilliant. 8, yeah,
Lightly
now
better.
where we
No,
are.
but-
Well, maybe.
No bug.
I
I
have
gotta
it.
ask.
I know.
Yes, Aiden.
What are you basing your
I wish I still had 7.
Sorry.
What are you basing your Windows 8 thing on? Because it's already been proven factual that Windows 8 runs much faster than 7 does.
I
and
didn't
uploading
say
apps and
that-
stuff.
8. I've said this before. 8. If you look into it, 8 is actually 7 underneath. It is.
Yeah,
They just
yeah,
changed
yeah.
the outside of it, which
They
is also
often-
why Classic Shell works. Which most people, they just get Classic Shell and they'll never bother with it again.
Yeah. Well, I didn't say Windows 8 runs slower than 7. I just said it doesn't appeal to me in the same way 7 does.
Well, I did, because like my laptop has 8, and I hated that whole they turned into like a tablet interface.
Yeah,
and stuff,
that's what
and
I hate that.
I
hate
only
that.
have 8 because I had to get 8. I wanted to keep 7, but I couldn't.
Well, I downloaded. There's a program you can download for free, and it makes it boot straight to your desktop and gives you start menu back. So it's
8.1
like
gives you that option. 8.1 already has that option.
It
I
gives
did that since I put it in.
Yeah. So it gives you the mask. That's what you mean, isn't it? Aiden.
Which
Right.
is, from the
Listen.
beginning, they should have just made 2 different versions. The one with the touchscreen stuff and the one for all the rest of us that use desktop.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but
That's
didn't do
too
that.
complicated for them to comprehend, which is why they
If-
finally realized their error of their ways, and that's why Windows 9 is not going to be like
The,
this.
the man's
But-
boring cunt.
Oh, I think I'll go for that.
Button is actually coming back to 8.1 later this year.
I'm gonna allow that one.
Anyway,
We're on to-
if Windows 8 is just Windows 7 with a
It is.
touchscreen interface, then what's the point in upgrading?
It
Because
does
they
have
want you to.
optimizations. It does have speed optimizations, though. It's already
And
that is.
They're probably going to drop support for it really quick.
Stu,
Am
the main reason is because 8 is a higher number than 7, so it
Ah.
must be better.
Exactly.
Why was 6 afraid of 7? Because 7, 8, 9.
Hey!
That joke is even too old for me.
I'm glad you're entering into the spirit of things tonight, Kit.
There's a ton
I'm just
of
looking for
reasons why
stuff to
Windows
say.
8's better, isn't there?
I'm just
Like-
looking for jokes to make.
Sorry, Chris?
There's a ton of reasons why Windows 8's better, isn't there? Like USB 3, the data transfer, and there's no need to have
Windows 7 does
demons.
USB 3.
Not natively in the OS.
Windows 8
Mine
is
does.
slightly more secure. Its security is slightly better.
And it is faster as well. It boots up
Yeah.
faster and shuts
If
down.
you have an
faster.
SSD, it's
all that.
lightning fast.
And it also runs games and acts faster as well. It's already been shown.
The only real issue with Windows 8 is the interface and the fact
Yeah.
that 8.1 broke a load of drivers.
Classic shell.
Oh dear, I'm on 8.1 currently. Yeah, this whole
So
thing
am I.
could- currently. Right, we have some comments, ladies and gentlemen. Colo CPC says, according to his old Donkey Kong manual, Mario is actually a carpenter and not a plumber. But
Yeah.
I do understand why they chose going with plumbers in the movie, what with all those pipes in the later games.
It also allows you to make more jokes about it, you know.
Well, yeah, when he was Jumpman, he was originally a carpenter. That's right.
Yep.
I think it was it with the Mario Brothers game, not Super Mario 1, but it was the Mario Brothers, wasn't it?
The arcade.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He became a plumber.
Yeah, because of the recession, he had to change jobs. Into current grade.
All of his money went to immigrants, all of his work.
They outsourced it.
Yeah, had to get
was
that
Italian
lower riding
America.
trousers.
He was an immigrant himself. He was an Italian in America.
I thought he was American Italian.
Yeah, but he saved the video game
He's
industry.
Italian American.
I was reading a thing not long ago. Apparently, some people forgot this, but there was some manual. I think it was the original Super Mario Bros. Game, or somewhere else it mentioned, or maybe in very old Nintendo Power, it actually said that Mario is actually not a human. He's some kind of odd species called Nintendo something. Of course, you
A
know
me.
what that meant.
He's a me.
He's short. That's what he is.
Yeah.
What, you're Mario, Chris? Oh, that was terrible, sorry.
That was awful.
Gashead Steve says, hello, chaps, and he also welcomes Kit. Also, Kit, I have something to say. Congratulations on your 1,000
Yes.
sub sandwiches on
Yes.
YouTube.
Well done, Kit.
Gracias.
Yes. Insert round of applause. Yes. Thank you.
It's good to see one of us already doing well.
It's funny you say that, because I normally only get about 40, 50 views on a video, but my last game review that I did, which was Our Real Monsters, I got over 700 views on it.
It all depends on the title, the tags, and whatever game it is. Really, that's all there is.
I don't put tags in it.
Stu,
Or if it's shared. If people share it, the more it does that. That's how the algorithm works on the site. It gets more views that way. Like, there's one video I have of all that gets more views and more anything, and that's where I get most of my subscribers from, is a long play I did of Mario Kart 64. So,
all right. Were you one of the first people to upload that? Because if you're one of the first people to
I did it
upload
because I wanted to do a long play, and I couldn't figure out what to do, but I like racing games, and I didn't really see any of that, and surprisingly, longplays.org doesn't have one for that, so I decided to do it, so there you go.
How many views does that have currently?
Almost 150,000.
Wow.
Wow.
That's a lot for me.
That's more than my 700.
It's more than like every video I've got.
It's similar to my Resident
That's
Evil
the one I
ones
have the
that I'm-
most on. There's another one I have that's much less than that, but that's getting up there slowly over time.
Stu.
It's true though what you say about sharing, because it also ties in with social media. If it gets more shares and views and likes.
That's why so many like to push the idea, and I don't like doing that, so I never do that mine. But that's why they say at the beginning or in the description they put it plastered everywhere. Sometimes they say like, favorite, comment, subscribe, because that's what the site tracks, and the more higher those numbers are, the more it will get spread around. And
Isn't
the more
one of the more important things is view time as well?
Yes, that's a new thing they changed not that long ago, so now that's actually relevant. Which, again, is something that's my most longest viewed video, is also that one.
I thought it was. It's normally the shorter videos that are more viewed, of course.
But that's not my favorite video. My favorite video is the almost 6.5 hour long Doom 3 long play I did, which I did all in one go. That was a nightmare editing it. Oh, and I didn't have this computer then, so I was rendering that really long video on a Core 2 Duo. That took forever.
It must have taken like a day to render.
It took a half a day.
You should have done it old school, like tape-to-tape editing, cutting it and everything with this slicer.
Yeah, well, I actually did. It's funny you bring that up with tapes, because I actually was curious one time, because I was still using this web camera, which pretty much doesn't like to work much anymore. But there's a high 8 camera I have, and I actually messed around with it. And I have a few things. It's just enough that I actually was able to turn a high 8 old Sony Handycam into a web camera. The problem is it wants to turn its screen off shorter than I can make a video, but it actually works. I've actually recorded a few videos of it, just trying to see, well, maybe I could use this camera. It actually works. It's pretty cool.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Proper retro.
I have it here somewhere. Wait a minute. I'll actually show you the camera itself I'm talking about. There it is, right there. This.
Whoa.
I turned this into a web camera, and it uses tapes on this.
Oh, the old Remember them?
Webcams.
I got one even older than this. I'm trying to fix it, but I'll probably never figure it out.
I've got an old Betamax camcorder. Can't beat that.
And see how big that is? This is the new one I have, which I got not long ago. This is what I use now. So much smaller.
Smooth.
Hey, I like it. It's great. Can't wait to go to the car show later this month. I'm going to be using that. It's going to look great.
Nice.
Oh, what car show is that?
Classic car show.
And where is it?
American cars, of course. It's
12 years.
it's not that close to where I am, really, but it's not that far either. Probably take about half an hour to get there. It's on the 30th.
We look forward to your videos of that.
I actually did. I have another car show video I did a while back. It was sometime last year, so that'll be the second one I get to do. I wish I could go more of them, but there just can't find any. There's none going around. We used to do this
So that's
restaurant.
extremely local for you, for the States, isn't it?
Kinda.
Yeah.
There's one that used to be closer. And I used to go to it all the time, but now because that place is gone, and that was kind of like a gimmick they had to draw people into their place. There's like a hamburger place. I can't remember the name of it. It's been a while, but they used to every Friday during like the spring and the summer. They used to have a classic car show, and I used to go there all the time. So they don't do that anymore now, but yeah. I miss going to the racetrack too. That's even further away, but yeah.
Stu,
Anyway.
sorry. I was going to ask a question there, Stu. How many thumbs up does your Are Real Monsters video have currently?
5.
5 from 700 views.
Yeah.
And
Weird.
one of those, 2 of those are probably me.
I think I gave it one as well.
It's really weird with videos. On my old channel, which was nothing to do with video games, I've got a video on there which has got over 2,500 views, but no comments and no thumbs up or no thumbs down.
Yeah.
Yeah, the one
I think people just
That happens
basically
sometimes. I've actually come
Yeah.
across the video, and I'm not kidding, that had 250,000 views. It only had 1 like, no dislikes, and 3 comments. One was the person who put it up. Basically, it was sharing the video on Google+. That was not really a comment, but still. And that was it. You come across
Right.
those kind of things all the time. There's something I
And
want to
that
mention
was-
that you brought up. I didn't know this for the longest time, and ever since I've been doing it, but they actually recommend, and this is like an official strategy they suggest to do on here for YouTube, is actually to like your own video because it helps make
Yeah.
it show up better.
That's
Yeah.
right, yeah.
That's something I've never even done. It's just something I carried over from my old writing days. When you used to vote for your article to go on the front page, I just would never vote for my own article. And now, just out of principle, I never thumb up my own videos at all. Which is stupid, really. I should, because you're only
Well, I
hurting
did-
yourself.
I started doing it because the feed on the site, that's way back when it started getting broken. People, sometimes you wouldn't see videos from someone, so I thought if I do this, it'll probably help it, the chance of it better. It might actually show up in their thing, because I did have people at the time tell me this didn't pop up in the thing, I didn't see it. So That's why I continue
Well,
to do it. to this day.
the subscriber system does that all the time. It doesn't. It should email you with a subscriber, and it doesn't do that.
It does.
Not all the time.
No,
Not
not
all
all
the
the
time.
time. But I think there's a reason for that. It's just the same as you can't see every single person that's subscribed to you. It's supposedly the vaguest explanation it gives is only people who have visibly they show on their own thing, even if they don't have videos on their channel user page. If they enable it so you can see who they're subscribed to, then it'll show it for you. It's weird. I don't know why it's like that, but that's the way it is. It's
It's the
strange.
way it is. Some things will never change, or all the time if you're YouTube, because they keep changing everything.
Glitch tube.
I
Yes.
just
They sent me a survey today.
They don't use those.
Google sent me a survey and said, as you're a value YouTube user, blah 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 blah, and all that, we want to know what you want to think of our service, da 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 da. And I was
They
like,
don't
say,
care.
stop fucking around with it. That's
They don't care,
literally what
and they
I
never
put.
will.
Exactly. So don't send me the bloody survey when you're not going to listen to it.
I just delete it. I got one of those, just delete it right away, because I already know it's pointless, wasted effort.
Exactly. Right, we've got some comments coming in, thick and fast actually. Custado says, "Howdy folks, howdy Custado.
Hello,
Hey.
Custado.
Hey, and the console snob is here. He's entered into a heated debate with King Arthur, who says, I thought the original developers and owners of the Night Trap IP were making the remake."
He
That's-
likes that game. He ought to know.
Right.
Yes.
I heard that. What I also heard was that they've not made a game since Night Trap.
Which came out in 1992 or 3, so it's been a long time.
Yeah, is it like 20 years?
Yeah. It's a long
And,
time to get back into the swing of things.
Yeah, so this would be their first game after 20
But-
years.
There is
And-
one interesting thing about this, and there's actually was, I think maybe a couple now, I think it's called Tex Murphy or something, they actually did make a new FMV game, just like that, so they kind of have a small resurgence, and I was thinking
Yeah,
about it once,
but
so
the
there's a
guys
chance.
that are remaking it, apparently they only had experience with the production of the videos and they don't actually have any programming skills.
Oh boy.
So this remake, even though they're getting the money for it, from what I understand, they don't actually have any skills to make a game, only the production.
Kind of explains the original game, doesn't it?
Yeah.
yeah, but you can,
Well,
do you know what?
it's better in Kill
Developers
Switch.
are so easy to buy. You know, you can buy the time so easily.
They can what?
You can buy develop time, can't you? You can buy developer time. Sorry.
Right.
There are some developers, they specifically only do stuff they're outsourced to, like the most recent Devil May Cry, the one that everyone likes to complain about. The one who developed that, they actually only do that kind of stuff. They're, whatever company owns the game, wherever they go to them, they make it for them. There are ones that do that.
Yeah.
Indeed.
It's not really-
Yes.
The thing about being a developer and stuff like that is that so many of them, just like you said, they're outsourced so much. It's the same when you work in. You must see this, Stu. If you need a developer for a certain thing where you work, you hire one in on contract. When I used to work in IT, we used to do it so much all the time. And it's not the people who develop that have the ideas; they're just following the program design. So realistically, all they're doing is following a script, but they have the technical
Following the
knowledge
brief.
to do it. Yeah. Whereas the creative types, the guys who design, they're the guys that get the credit. And
Yeah.
probably quite rightly so.
Yeah, exactly.
Chris,
Code monkeys suck.
Yeah.
Chris, are you using the microphone on your head? Your
No, it should be
headset.
this one. Yeah, it
What?
should be.
It sounds like you're really far away.
Yeah. Sounds like you're
Yeah.
using a webcam mic, Chris.
Oh.
Either way, this remaster of Night Trap has got to be better than Microcosm. That's for sure. It's got to be one of the worst FMV games I have ever played.
What game's that?
Microcosm. It's so boring.
Oh, I know the one. I know the one he's talking about. Where they
Again,
shrink
you might
down.
have seen the video Spoonie did on it, but I played it long ago before I even knew about him, and it's boring.
That's
Uh,
FMVs.
There's some good FMV games, but you got to know where to look for them. You know,
Yeah, they don't do it for me, to be honest.
most of them are gack. But even then, if the game itself isn't good, the concept is pretty good. Is kind of interesting sometimes. But probably some of the best, without a doubt, are the Wing Commander games. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I've actually
If
got
anything, they
that
at
on
least
the
had
3DO.
actors. If anything, the best thing about it was, at least the video parts, they actually had real actors in it. So
Real actors. Yeah, Mark Hamill, for God's sake.
the guy who played Biff Tannen, Mark Hamill, and some of the later ones, also John Hurt. He was in The Darkening.
Is that any better, Stu?
Yeah.
Yes.
There you are.
There we go.
You're coming in clear now, Chris. Fantastic. Actually, let's move on to the comments. I'm sorry to take us all away from this.
Have we got any
but-
viewers?
Yes, indeed. We have a plethora of viewers watching currently. Colo CPC says, I uploaded a video of a game that is a stage called Pirate Bay, and it got 4 times more hits than usual. I wonder why.
Because it's got the word pirate in it.
Pirate Bay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We should do a pirate stream next time and get millions of views.
You
And
could
also, go on.
I was going to say, I was thinking about this earlier. 2 of my biggest videos, one's Hearthstone, and the other's a Let's Play Shadow of the Horned Rat.
Well,
they're
Hearthstone is really popular, so.
Well, yeah, but it's just, yeah. I don't have a following for it, so it was really, really strange to me. But even though it's one of my most popular, there's 1 comment on it and 5 up and down votes. It's not like it's normal where I get 20, 30 comments or whatever. So it's kind of, I'm not really bothered by that. I'd rather have more interaction.
It's pretty much like everything else on the site. The truth is, it's completely random. Some people will become ultra successful really fast. Some will take a long time. Some certain videos, which you really can't figure out any reason why they become very popular to get a lot of views or whatever it might be, or comments. It might not. I've seen videos that have nothing to do with the subject, yet the people will get in all kinds of arguments about subject matter that has nothing to do with it.
Maybe the tag match is probably what they've tagged it in as. If they've tagged it into something that's completely unrelated, and anyone typing into Google will match that video, click on it by accident.
They used to crack down on that.
It will register a hit, but it won't, and it'll register a view, but that's it.
They used to come
I
down
haven't
hard
got,
on that.
I haven't got anything like massively exciting on my channel that goes into anywhere near the thousands. But the 2 most hit videos on mine are my very first one, when I just chat about the GX4000, and the other one, which is very predictable, which is about football. It's nothing about games. It's just it's a montage about my experience at Wembley Stadium.
Honestly, the way I've always thought about this is, I say that one I was saying, the one I have the most views on for me. That's nice and all. I'm amazed it has that much, but in the end, really, just like much else what I do with this, it doesn't really matter to me. I like it, I appreciate it. People watch it that much, and they do like it. But
I think
mean
like
nothing
Chris
to me,
said. I think like Chris said though, I get more fulfillment out of more comments. If I get more comments on the video, I feel the video is more successful. It doesn't matter how many thumbs up or thumbs down or how many views. If I've got if I get over 20 or 30 comments on one video and I'm interacting with people, then I
it shows
find
interest.
then I feel great. Then I feel that video has struck a chord.
Yeah.
And then
I'm kind of the same way. Yeah, it shows interest.
Is there a certain time limit before a view is registered? No. So you basically play 1 second and you've got to.
Yes.
And you'll like this. Here's another thing you might not know. There's a glitch that happens every now and then, and it can happen to whatever browser you're using. And it was not working for a while for me, but now it's again. On my own videos or any other videos, if I kept hitting reload F5 or reload the page, I can make the view go up every single time. And it's not supposed to do that. That's a weird glitch that happens like once a month, and it lasts for about.
It's supposed to log the IP, so it's only one individual IP every time.
But you can keep hitting F5 and you can make the view go up as high as you want. It's ridiculous. That's how broken it is.
Kit, I actually noticed this afternoon when I was testing a stream, I kept hitting the refresh button, and it said it had about 20 viewers when actually it was just me every time.
That's how I first found out about it long ago. Every video I put up, I've been doing this pretty much forever, I put it in private so I can make sure it worked out fine when I upload it and let it fully get to like HD if it needs to. And I kept going back and forth checking it, and I noticed the view was going up, and I was like, this is on private, only I could see it. And I realized, oh, it's me doing it. It's not supposed to do that.
Did the view count then go down later though?
No, it stays there.
Because it's meant to run an algorithm that checks against the logs to see.
It only does that once. No, it only does that once.
Filter them out later.
No, it only does that once it gets to 301.
Yeah,
because then it's checking to see if they're legitimate.
Yeah, it runs that algorithm at 301. That's right, because I've got one video stuck on 301.
Yes, mine too.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's only when it does it. but this glitch is not supposed to happen. It goes away eventually, but it stays around for a while, and I don't know why. But the one that annoys me is the rating one. It happened again. I can rate a video, it doesn't register.
Yeah.
And I feel so bad for the person. I just tell them, I tried to do it. I keep trying. I'm sorry. I don't know what else to do. I don't know what causes it, but it's annoying as hell.
I sent whatever it's worth. I sent feedback to Google saying
Again, they don't care.
No, they don't care. No. But I thought I'd fucking try it. I mean, it's all you can do, couldn't it? It's all you can do. You can't do anything else. So I sent feedback to him saying, look, well, one of my videos is stuck on 301. Yeah, I've read your thing about being, this algorithm running on 301. That's not a problem. But it's been stuck there for like 3 months. On 301, so something's wrong there, isn't it? And it's saying, oh no, don't worry, every view is counted. Well, clearly not, because it's still stuck on 301. I don't care. It's actually only the introductory trailer to the channel. But it's strange that it's stuck on that number.
That's actually a common thing from what I've seen with those intros, especially if they're unlisted. I've seen it with other people too. Theirs are stuck at 301, so don't feel bad. You're not the only one.
I don't give a shit, really, but I just wanted to know the answer.
But no, it's not supposed to do that. Definitely not for months on end.
I know that because a lot of my videos are way in excess of 301, so I know it's not the biggest problem.
Right, guys, I'm going to have to disappear, I'm afraid.
Right, thank you very much, Missing, for joining us tonight. Everybody go and download his podcast, Chippy Chip, the Retro Unlim Network.
We'll have a listen.
I just thought of something, and I'm curious, and I want to ask the rest of you because you play old stuff as me, but it might not because I play a lot of stuff on the computer, and I played a lot of old stuff on the computer, so maybe not. But I'll try anyway. Have any of you ever played a long time ago? There's this game, and it's more of like an educational game, but still, is a game called Carmen Sandiego. Where in Time is Carmen Sandiego?
No.
I've never played it, but I've seen the TV show.
No, that's not even close to the thing I'm talking about.
What game was that?
I've never seen it. I'm the opposite.
Kit, what game is that?
It's a game, old game on the computer. It's called Where in Time is Carmen Sandiego. Not to be confused with the other one, Where in the World is Carmen Sandiego, which does involve time travel too, to a degree. There was another thing I was going to lead into after that, but obviously I can't, so never mind.
Well, you can't. Why not? Have you been banned?
You won't. It won't.
How about that one?
You won't get it. No, that's no. That's that's the one I said, but that's not the one I'm talking about. What I was going to get at is, something like that where it's actually. I was going to use it to talk about like educational games. Because most people don't talk about those. But I was going to say is like, do you think like that it's really hard to make a game that's both educational, but it's actually at the same time fun and not like just downright doing basically like where Mario, what is it called? Mario's Lost or something like that? I can't remember.
Mario is Missing.
Yeah, that's like the opposite end of that. It's an educational game, but it's not even fun to play. And there's a lot of old stuff back then that actually was able to do that. It was a fun game to play on its own, but you did learn something, but it didn't like shove it down your throat. Like Oregon Trail. That's why a lot of people like Oregon Trail. You learn something about it, but it's actually fun to play.
Right.
But there's a lot of old stuff like that, but they don't really try that anymore.
There was a game we played at school that you learned to use not the computer keyboard, but a musical keyboard, where basically it was just a duck shooting game, and the ducks would come across, and you'd hit them by
Miracle
pressing
Piano?
the keys on the keyboard. No, well, it was pretty much exactly like the Miracle Piano, except it was on PC. It was on a package that came installed on all the Acorns that we had at school. It was pretty good. I used to quite like it.
I would have loved to have that. My thing is DOS though. As far as I know, there's nothing like that on DOS originally.
We had RM Nimbuses and we played Turtle. Do you remember Turtle?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
With the little thing, the robot that you could control.
Yeah, that's right. And you had to put in the coordinates of where you wanted it to go.
Yeah.
That was fun. And we had the robots that would communicate with the they were hardwired, but we had the robots that were connected to the Nimbuses, and we also had big tracks. Ooh.
Ooh, I just thought of something else to bring up. I just thought of another thing to bring up.
I thought it was called Logo or something.
Yeah, it was. It was called
Logo. That's it.
Yeah.
Logo. That's what it was called.
All right, I just thought of another one that most of you probably will be more familiar with than the other thing I mentioned. It's on the Commodore 64, and it's my favorite game on it, but I just hardly ever hear anyone talk about it. It only came out in Europe. It's called Bozo's Night Out. It's pretty much the only game I know of that intentionally is supposed to have bad controls. The further and further you get in it, the controls get worse and worse, and you have to fight it to see how far you can go. It's a pretty cool game. That's pretty fun. He plays this guy Bozo. He drinks, and then you have to go home at night while avoiding like bobbies, hookers on the street, essentially. And if you go in the cemetery, there's all kind of these mutants and aliens, and you have to make it to your house without falling like down in the sewer, or slamming your
Is
face.
that why
into
you
the
go to
pavement.
London town, Governor? To see the bobbies?
In Britain, that's known as Woodlands Night Out.
It's just a really cool game that I don't really hear much people talk about, and it's kind of funny. It's the only game I know of, and I've actually looked into this since I found out about it years ago. I can't figure out of any other game that intentionally makes the controls worse as a part of the game mechanic. Not that I know of. That's why I think it's kind of interesting. And it's really challenging, too.
Gonna have to ask Paul Aventris to put that up on one of his streams. Shout out to Paul Aventris, by the way, twitch.tv/Paul Aventris.
And it's got a really nice C64 chip version of Roll Out the Barrel as the title theme.
Not showing me the way to go
You know,
home.
it's weird. I like that game, even though I don't have any interest. I don't like drinking at all. But I like that game. It's weird. It's fun.
You
what can I say?
like the simulation of drinking.
No, I like the simulation of trying to control someone who's just stoned off their face. You know, it's hilarious. Literally, it's the drunk walking simulator. It does it better than Grand Theft Auto 4 did.
Living off something you don't do yourself.
That game motivates you. All right, you don't want to run into one of the bobbies. You don't want to run into one of the old ladies walking down the sidewalk. Which why in the hell are they on the? Why are they on the street at like 2 in the damn morning? Why is Bozo always the last one at last call the damn place? And you know his tab must be insane. His hospital bill too, by the way, because if you fall into like the store or you fail, you get into the hospital, and every time you go in the hospital, you lose your beer mug icons, which is basically your progress to get through the game. It's a strange game, but it's interesting at the same time. It's got some really weird looking stuff.
But it does sound interesting.
Yeah, it is, but the major thing with it, the big draw is exactly what I was saying, like trying to control it, because it is just frustrating enough to keep you motivated to keep going through it. And when I first found out about it, I was like, this is amazing. It's great.
I have a question for everyone.
Go ahead, Mr. Retro Games 1979. You have the floor.
Right, I have to get a prop. Hang on.
A prop? Literally a clothes prop. I'll just read out a comment while he's doing that. Channel
I've got it
Swift.
We're turning into Broadway.
Channel
Right.
Swift is here, and he says, "Lag the man speak." Go on, Stu.
Lagorama.
Right, so I've just received a new item, new computer, and I want to know what your guys' experience of Retro Bright is, because I feel that this could do with a little brightening up. It's an Atari 65XE, and, well,
Other than the yellowing from age
this
and
is
dirt.
white,
Yeah.
and this
Yeah.
is yellow. Can you see?
It looks like it's been smoking.
Yeah, give it a bit of retro bright. Yeah.
No, I'm not
think,
kidding. It could be from smoke.
Where do you
I've
get
used-
Retro Bright from? Is it just peroxide?
You have to make it. You have to make it.
It's an open source
Recipe.
Does it work?
It's a recipe.
But
Does
it's
it work?
not
I've
retro
seen it
bright.
work. That's just like, I was wondering if you guys have used it.
Yeah,
I
I
haven't.
I used it
Nothing
on
like
an
it.
Amiga, mate, on an Amiga show, and it works really well.
Yeah?
I've seen it before.
Now, what
That's
about the keys? Now, what I don't want to do is stick the keys in and then all the lettering disappear. Does it affect that?
It probably
Uh,
will. I mean, finger oil, like in your skin, that can rub off letters on a modern keyboard, so that probably will for that.
Geez, Stu, that system looks like a cheesy what's it?
It does, doesn't it?
Looks like it smoked one too many cigarettes.
I think I'd take the shell out, Stu, and just do the shell in retro bright and leave the keys as they are.
Oh, wait a
yeah,
minute.
I'm
I got an idea.
pretty sure that the
How good, like how
That's
like
big.
steady are you with your hand? Because if you're good enough with it, you can find like a fine enough tip paintbrush. I'm not saying this is what you want to do, but if you really had to, you could actually touch up the letters if you rub some of it off like that. I'm not kidding. I've heard some people doing that.
English
It's a
replace the
suggestion.
transfers.
It's an
I'm
idea.
not that good.
Well, I just thought I mentioned it. You know, it's an idea.
Yeah. I mean,
we'd like to see you do that, Stu. Go and do it and film it.
yeah, I will. It's just
I had to do that to one of my old
Where do you
keyboards.
buy peroxide?
I had to do that with one of my old
you can get it off
keyboards.
eBay.
Oh, look.
You can get
This is the
retro
bottom. This is the bottom.
Yeah.
That's the top. You
That's
just-
my
I've seen
SNES.
Super-
That's basically,
That happens to Super
basically-
Nintendos like that.
it's basically what my SNES and my Game Boy looks like that.
It's all if there's
Exactly
impurities in the
same.
plastic.
What the hell?
Yeah.
It's either sun, smoke, and there's also impurities in the plastic.
Any grey or white plastic that happens to. More
It's
so.
impurities in the
incredible.
mix. It's impurities in the mix of the plastic that also affect it, but it's also age, sunlight, and also smoke.
Isn't it the bromide coming out? Isn't that what it is? It's the fire retardant.
Well,
Other than
on
that, it
eBay,
looks like
you
it's
can-
in good condition.
So on eBay, you can get like packages of the whole all the ingredients you can get for Retrobrite. So you can get the peroxide, and you can get the catalyst, and you can buy it in one lump and mix it all together, and off you go.
At least it's only one part of it that's yellow. The bottom looks pretty much brand new to me. From what
But the
I've
one
seen.
thing you will
Yeah.
need to do is to completely strip it down and only treat the plastic alone with the Retrobrite. Don't obviously do it as a whole.
Has anyone ever had a 65XE?
No.
No. Who manufactured them?
Atari.
Atari.
Have you played Atari today?
Harry, that's shameful. How can you not know that?
What? That was their slogan.
What?
That was
I've
their
never-
slogan.
Is it 65 what? SE?
It's
XE.
65XE.
Well, there you go. You learn
65XE.
something new every day. I've never seen one of those before.
Yeah.
Well, now you have.
mate.
I've
I'll
seen
tell you
it.
what else it has. Hang on.
The 65XE was out at the same time as the Spectrum, the Commodore 64, and the C64, and the CPC. Sorry,
There we go.
and we talked about it before.
I wonder if
There you go,
Electric Adventures.
Lovely, the tape deck, wicked.
I wonder if Electric Adventures has one of those. I don't
Yeah,
think it
I think he might do. And JL76 Gaming goes on about it because that was the computer he had when he was growing up. Instead of everyone having a Spectrum or a Commodore or an Amstrad, he had a 65XE.
Ah, okay. So that's the computer he was talking about on this week's
Yeah.
Game.
And as you can see by the design of it, it's very similar to the ST in look.
Who wants to see it running?
Oh, go on. Yes, please.
And then
We'll
let me just
do
sort
it.
out the capture card. One sec.
Screw it. We'll
Oh,
do it
that's okay.
live.
Here's
But,
what I want to
um,
know, because I always found this the most interesting, because back then they had all kinds of accessories for this kind of stuff. What are some of the other things you can get for that? That's what I
Is it
always
working?
find interesting. There's a
few
black screen.
comparables.
Because like the VIC-20 and the Commodore 64 and some of the other ones, they had a ton of accessories you can get for it.
Loads. Pretty much.
We can see a black screen, Stu.
Yeah, it's
I can
alright,
see
I'm
the
trying to
black
find the remote
void.
control. I don't know where it is.
It's the monolith from 2001.
That's Stu's television when it's not switched on.
It's switched on. It's the output. I've got to switch it to TV, but I can't find remote control.
It's a live view of a black hole.
You know what it is? It's Elaine's been round and she's tidied my room, and I don't know where anything is now.
That's
Oh,
a
sorry,
metaphor for
Blame the
Atari.
women. That's right.
It's a
No.
metaphor for Atari.
Channel Swift says Zoombinis is a great educational game.
Yeah. I actually still have that around here somewhere. It's a pain to get it to work, but hey. I always liked the pizza minigame. I always thought it was hilarious. The guy freaks out if you just put one finger on. He's like, oh no, I can't have that.
Has anybody else played that game here?
Afraid not, no.
No, I've never actually heard of that.
Actually, I should go over and get my giant CD binder thing of my old computer games. There's probably a few more in there I forgot the name of. Oh, and I'm gonna go look.
Okay. While he's gone to do that, Retro Unlim says Bobo equals Woodlin. I already made that joke. I don't know if I preempted you. King Arthur says, Stu, if you're listening. King Arthur says, I used Retrobrite on an Amiga 500, including the keyboard, and it didn't erase the keyboard symbols.
Good.
Hey,
And
There it is.
that's good.
It's the deluxe version, which is Windows and Macintosh.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Fancy that.
Active Mind Series, I think that. No, Broderbund, who's made it. They put out a lot of stuff back then. I got a lot of obscure old games. I even have one that's based on Nickelodeon. Shh.
Really?
Yeah,
What is that?
and let me tell you something. Even back when it was new, I was a kid then, of course. It was a pain in the ass to get it to run. It's hard to explain. It's like imagine Mario Paint, only a lot more detailed and a lot more things you can do, and actually has FMVs and there's like videos that show you how to draw some of the characters. Very pixelated, of course, but hey, that's all I remember. I only ever got it to work once.
Oh, really? So that was commercially released over there, or it wasn't just something given away with the magazine, was it?
Nope. It was
That's
very
really
cheap
cool.
though, from what I remember. But then again, back then money was worth a little bit more. I think it was like $15. Don't remember. Someone got it for me because they knew I play stuff on the computer, but I don't think they really got what kind of stuff I play on the computer. I mean, you see Doom, and then you see that. It's not the same kind of thing. Here's another game which you have no idea how much I wish there was a way to get it to work anymore, but there isn't. It's so much fun.
Hard
Mainly
Truck
because, yeah, mainly because if you get $50,000, you can just get a BMW M3 and just drive around like that.
Why don't it work? Why don't it work?
Because certain old computer games, because they use certain versions of DirectX or whatever else it might be.
Oh, right.
The worst is
Fix it,
Windows
game.
95.
Right.
The worst thing ever is trying to get a Windows 95 game to
Oh,
work, because
you
Windows
fucking
95.
made
Damn it! What the hell was that?
Feedback.
Oh, here you go. You want to see another
That's-
obscure one?
That's Stuart 65XE, I think. having
Here's
a
another
breakdown.
game. Here's another game I really wish I could get to work because it's actually really fun. Sim Safari.
All right.
Actually, there's some
Yeah.
obscure sim games. I have Sim Isle, which literally is hard to find any information on, even on the internet. I look every now and then just to say. I
I've
never was
got-
able to get it to run. I couldn't get it to run.
I've got a shell program to make CNC Red Alert work on my.
This
on
one?
Windows 7.
Pretty cool. Got it to work for about 30 minutes one time, and it refused to work since.
Simcopter, that's the famous game with the naked guys Easter egg, isn't it?
Yeah. Oh, there's the one I was talking about earlier. I don't know why I kept all these. I can't run any of them, but I kept them because I like all these old computer games. I like them so much. I don't want to get rid of them. Even if I don't have the cases anymore, I just
Can't you find shells for them?
I could. See, a lot of these were broken long ago. It wasn't my fault. I came home one day and there was an accident. And of course, it's my stuff.
Eh?
Here's a mouthful in this title for this game. Let's see. The full title is Star Trek Starfleet Academy Strategic Command. Essentially, it's like a spaceship combat game.
Yeah.
Really long title. It's not the one most people are familiar with, though. Interplay, I miss them. They're the ones who put out the original Fallout games. Here's one that is a full game that came with one of my old joysticks. It's actually pretty fun, even though I don't like motorcycles.
Survive.
I haven't played
here's
that.
something. Oh wait, I bet many of you are pretty much familiar with Game Shark, right?
Yes.
Did you know most people don't know this when I tell them that, there actually was a Game Shark for the computer. There it is.
All right.
Doesn't work the way you'd think.
How does it work then?
It's more like a database, and you use that to offload codes for games into another Game Shark. If I remember right, it was for the Game Boy Color one, which I still have that weird proprietary wire around here somewhere. I don't know why. Just forgot to get rid of it. Robot
Right.
Arena, that's a great game. More games I can't get to run anymore.
Just like Stu can't get his console to run currently. Stu, are you
Black
running out
screen
of
just
time?
disappeared. He's disappeared.
We're going to be going off the air in a few minutes, Stu. You've got a deadline.
But
What's
here's
the
best
count?
thing of
What's the
all.
count on the What's the count on the Let the Man Speak, Carrie?
We're on
2,
2.
3?
Yes, 2.
Here's the
Did
best
not
thing I
work.
kept. This is the best thing I kept for no good reason. Microsoft Works Suite 2000.
What the fuck have you got that for? Sorry, why
I
have you
think
got that?
the reason I kept it is because it had I was using it at the time is because I didn't really have a globe and it has like a very detailed map on this.
Yeah, now you got Google Earth, mate. It's pointless. Get rid of it. Sorry,
I avoid
is
any
really
I
pointless.
avoid anything that has the word Google attached to it, like the plague.
But Google Earth works most of the time.
Yeah, but Google, it's part of Google, so I want nothing to do with it.
Fair enough.
Oh, here
that
you go.
won't work though.
I got this in a Pop-Tarts box once. Well, it says Kellogg's on it.
Ah,
I've got my CNC Red Alert box set, and I got that working on
You're talking about
Windows
this
7. I've got
I
Let
think-
the Man Speak.
Damn it.
go on, kid.
One of you was talking about earlier, I think, or someone asked about it as Vigilante 8, or maybe I'm thinking of something from yesterday. But here's something that's kind of like Vigilante 8 and kind of like, what's that other one, Twisted Metal. But a lot of people, there's a few that remember this and have actually played it, but most aren't aware of it. This is actually a spin-off in the SimCity series.
Blimey.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
I don't remember that.
This was a nightmare to get running back then, too. Even when you have exactly what it requires, it still refuses to work.
So is that a completely separate game to SimCity then? Or is it?
Yeah, it takes place, but here's the funny thing. You could actually import your city into it and drive around shooting at other cars in it. It's a car combat game. It's pretty cool. Most I can do anymore these days, and I try every now and then with certain of these games to get them run, because I really like that one. It was pretty fun, and I wouldn't mind doing a video on it if you could record it. See, that's another problem with these old computer games is if you can get it to run, sometimes it's even harder to try to record them, like pretty much any FMV game. I still can't figure out the trick to it.
I've tried it. I've got, like I said, I've got CNC running on a shell, a 95 shell through Windows 7. It will
That's why I
not
love GOG. That's
will
why I love GOG.
It won't
They need to get
capture.
rid of
It won't capture with a screen capture. It won't do it.
Again, this is why I wish I knew Spoonie personally, so I could just ask us, like, what did you do to record Phantasmagoria or any of these FMV games? Because I have, working perfectly, I have no idea how the X-Files FMV game, the computer version, runs perfectly. No, that doesn't look good for computer games.
Kit, we'll get Spoonie on this stream just for you, so we can answer your question. Right, I feel our time is drawing to a close on show 1, unfortunately. Engelbert the Third says...
Google doesn't want to use my capture card.
Oh,
fair enough.
Oh well,
never
a bit of an anticlimax, but never mind. Engelbert the Third says, "Bam! A Bill O'Reilly reference." Sorry, I missed that. And also, Stu, before we leave, Horatio Bambaston says, "I used 40% peroxide cream with some Oxy Booster, and it worked a treat on my yellowed PC engine."
Mm.
So those
I heard
top
that
tips.
To use Vanish Oxy.
Yeah.
Mix it with the peroxide.
That's right. Yeah.
What about bleach? That's always used for getting things white.
Well, that will take them. That will take the transfers off.
Again, it's just an idea.
What I also heard was that to put the peroxide in sunlight, apparently it activates it.
That's right. That's why I had to leave it outside for it to work.
That's true.
So now we're breaking into alchemy here.
Is that why people with peroxide blonde hair get brighter hair if they go out in the sun? It just becomes more and more white.
Maybe.
They think they can
blonde
fool
hair.
people, but they can't. This is not fooling anyone.
People with blonde hair in general, that happens to, Harry. When you get in the sun, they go paler.
Oh,
So-
I've just thought of something.
and what's that?
I can share my capture card screen, can't I? Even though we're about to go, so it's a bit late now.
You
Jump
still
on
get that
the
lag
beginning of
anyway,
show
Stu.
2. Oh.
Here we
Right,
go.
we'll sort that lag out for show 2. Ah, here we go. He
you
uses
see
the
it
same
now?
software as I do. Yes.
So basically, the way you get this to load is the strangest thing. You have to turn it off. Hang on. Let me just get a tape ready. So it runs on tape. And I don't know how many games originally came with it, but I've got about 6 with it. I've got Centipede, Missile Command, Asteroids. So all the Atari Classics come with it. Anyway, you turn it off.
And it
And
stops
then
working.
You press play.
Turn it
And
on.
you hold start, which is one of the buttons on the keyboard. Then you power it on. And then you get past this screen here and you press return.
And it farts.
That's
And
so
then-
convoluted.
And then it starts to load. And it's loading now.
Fuck, that's
You know-
weird.
If I had that back then, I'd have to write my own directions on how to use it.
Where's the volume control?
That's the only way I can remember.
You can etch them on in white
ridiculous.
pen.
That reminds me of
Hang
that
on.
ridiculous car I heard.
Harry,
that started.
Harry,
Yes,
Harry.
it's up in
Harry,
quad.
all I've got to say is small control key enter. There you go.
Is that? Can you hear me still?
Yes.
Alright. It's a bit loud. I've tried turning it down, but.
Oh, there we go.
Yay!
It really loads that fast? Wow.
No, it's not loaded yet. That was the title screen.
Oh, okay.
That's
Well,
loaded screen key.
Oh, it keeps flashing back and forth. I didn't get to say it.
Well, unfortunately, we're not going to be able to sit here and wait for it to load because our time is at an end. This is the end of show 1, but we're going to be back in approximately 25 minutes to half an hour, 10:30, when we'll be having a landmark moment in the history of Retro Unlim. Also,
Yeah.
some money may be sent to charity. We're on 2 currently for the LTMS, and you're not going to want to miss it. And you won't believe what's coming. I don't know what that's supposed to mean, but anyway.
I've got a feeling.
More than a feeling.